Excited to be here this week, streaming live May 2nd, and we are live. All right, so most entrepreneurs are trying to get people to buy from them before people even know them. That is the problem. They're asking for the commitment before connection. They're asking for the sale before the relationship. They are trying to convert strangers who have not had enough time with them. People will spend time before they will spend money with you. Um, People who try to sell too soon get frustrated, frustrated with marketing, frustrated with content, frustrated with lead generation, frustrated with conversion. But the truth is, the problem is not always your offer. The problem is not always the way you're actually selling. The problem is you're trying to sell way too soon. The real problem is that you're trying to rush the relationship. And that's why today I am here to share with you why some people stay broke while others turn relationships into riches. Again, why some people stay broke while others turn relationships into riches. If you want to turn purpose into profit, you must stop trying to sell too soon and start guiding people through the relationship journey that turns strangers into lifelong clients and advocates. People do not go from strangers to sale in one step. They move through an entire journey. Sales is not an event, it's an actual journey. Using the purpose to profit framework, I'm going to be sharing with you, you guide people from awareness, which is your top of funnel, to transformation by building relationships, creating trust, nurturing belief, and leading them from people to prospect to potential to participant to purchaser to partner and then ultimately to promoter. That is the relationship journey with the purpose to profit framework. This is not just a funnel conversation. This is a relationship conversation. And if you understand this, your business gets way, way simpler. So welcome to the Anywhere Entrepreneur Live. Again, guys, me, if you're streaming with us every single week, we are all about the freedompreneur. And if you're new here, we are all about the freedom to live, to work, to earn from anywhere. And that is the purpose of this channel. This is the purpose of us streaming. We want to show you how we live, work, and earn from anywhere. If that is something that you're interested in, then continue watching this video, subscribe to our channel, and stay with us because everything that we share is about how you can actually become a freedompreneur, the freedom to, again, live, work, and earn from anywhere. So last week, from a house in Malaysia, we talked about how to 10x using Dr. Benjamin Hardy's frame, floor, focus framework that will take, and I use that as an example, that's going to take us from $10 million to $100 million in 3 years. So we actually just received our 2 Comma Club X award. This is our $10 million award. And the crazy part is it actually just came in just last month. But it wasn't ClickFunnels' fault. We actually achieved $10 million last May of 2025. But it wasn't on them. It was on us because we did not apply for the award fast enough. We actually forgot. We had $10 million and we totally forgot about the award. So we just applied for it a couple months ago and it actually just arrived. So our next step is to go from $10 million to $100 million to scale to that in the next 3 years. And we use the frame, floor, focus. So if you haven't watched that video, go back and watch it. It's going to blow your mind and really walk you through the steps of what we're doing that you can actually take away and do it for you, whatever you're looking to scale to. Okay. So this week, I want to show you how to really what the importance of the relationship journey actually is, because once your focus is clear, which is our focus is clear, our model is clear of what's going to get us to $100 million in 3 years, it's time to stop just chasing sales and really start building relationships that create purchasers, partners, and then ultimately promoters, which are raving fan clients. The real question is, how do you move someone um, from cold, right? That's really what it is. If you can master cold traffic and take them from cold to committed, from a attention to trust, from a person in your audience to a person that's in your ecosystem, that is what today is about. That is what the sales and the relationship journey is before the actual sale can actually happen. And by the end of this live, I want you to know exactly how the purpose of profit framework works, where your audience is getting stuck, and how to move people step by step from awareness to transformation. Because when you understand this, my friends, you stop forcing sales and you start building relationships that naturally create revenue. So if you're ready to learn how to turn purpose into profit, drop profit. If you're watching live here, drop profit in the actual comment section. And if you are here live, drop where you're actually tuning in from. We would definitely love to know. I'm tuning in from Malaysia right now. We're doing an Asian tour. We've been here for 4 weeks. We started on Boise, Idaho 4 weeks ago, coming to the US. We split our time between the US and Asia. And then we went to Singapore 3 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, we're in Laos. And then we came to Malaysia. So we're still in Malaysia. As a matter of fact, this coming Wednesday, we leave to Singapore and then to Japan, right? So, but I am tuning in from our Malaysia home right now. So that's where we are actually tuning in from. So, but now, before I teach this framework, let's talk about the resistance, your resistance to this, because most people do not want to slow down enough to build relationships. They want shortcuts. I wanted shortcuts, right? Not just you. I know what that's like because I've been there. I wanted shortcuts. They want the lead to come to become a client now, right? They want the follower to become a buyer now. They want the audience to trust them now. And that is where they sabotage the journey, because trust takes time. Belief takes sequence. Commitment takes movement. A lot of people are resisting this because they think, I just need more traffic. I just need more leads. I just need better sales scripts. I just need people to actually buy. No, that is not the way. Sometimes what you really need is to respect the journey. Sales is a journey, not an event. If you skip steps, people do not trust you. If they do not trust you, they do not buy. If they do not buy, they do not get results. If they do not get results, they do not stay with you. And if they do not stay with you, they never become your best form of growth promoters, right? Which is your raving fan clients. That's what you really want. You want raving fan clients, because customers go away, raving fan clients. Promoters, they stay. So the stakes are high, my friends. The stakes are very high. If you do not understand this journey, you will create content that attracts but does not convert, generate leads that never buy. You get buyers who never stay, and you build a business that is always chasing new people instead of compounding trust. Again, last week, we talked about 10X, how to go from $10 million to $100 million in 3 years. We talked about building a bigger future, clarifying the frame, raising the floor, and narrowing the focus, because growth at that level does not come from doing more. It comes from becoming more intentional about what stays and what goes. So last week was about scale. It was about vision. It was about focus. But this week, I want to show you what happens after focus, because once you know that you're building, the next question becomes, how do you build the relationship that moves people through your journey? How do they go from seeing you to knowing you, to liking you, to wanting you, to trusting you, to believing in you, and then staying with you? That is what today is all about. So let me give you the framework. It's called the Purpose to Profit framework. And this framework shows you how strangers become purchasers, then partners, then partners to promoters. It maps out four things together: the relationship journey, the funnel stage, the business function, and the identity shift. Let me repeat that again. It maps out four things: the relationship journey, the funnel stage of your business, the business function or activity, and the identity shift. That matters because business is not just about getting attention, it is about guiding identity transformation. Hear me, my friends. Business is about guiding identity transformation. And if you understand this framework, you stop seeing marketing as random content. You stop seeing marketing as random content. You start seeing it as a relationship architect. So let's get started with the first stage of the relationship journey. The very first stage is see you. See you. That is the actual relationship journey. So there was a point in my life where I wanted to be in a serious relationship. I was actually about 30 years old. I just turned 30. Got tired of dating all kinds of women, all kinds of sizes, all kinds of backgrounds, all kinds of ethnicities, all that stuff. And I just kind of got tired of dating. I wanted somebody. I wanted to be in a serious relationship. I also wanted to have somebody where I could actually build a future with. I wanted to have somebody I can take home to my family to be proud of, right? So that girl was not going to walk into my life. She's not going to come knocking on my door, right? I have to go out and see her. I have to go out and get in proximity, right? So that is a relationship journey. So your business is no different than that, right? You have to get seen, okay? And if you're looking at your funnel stage, this is awareness. This is your top of funnel. You see, there are people out there that are already buying. The only problem is they don't know that you exist. So this is the awareness, the relationship, the funnel stage. And then this is the audience attraction stage. This is the business function aspect of it. And in terms of identity shift, this is a cold audience or people who actually do not know that you exist. They don't know you. They're cold, right? So that is the relationship journey, funnel stages, business function, and the identity shift. This stage is what I call the hello stage, right? This is where people first see you. They do not know you yet. They are just people. At this stage, your business function is audience attraction. This is where your content, your reels, your live streams, your podcasts, right? If you're here on our channel for the first time, watch this live stream, you're like, oh my God, I didn't know you exist, but now you do, right? So this is the hello stage. Hello, right? Hello, right? Get to see me. This is where your YouTube, your ads, your outreach, all of it works together to answer one question. Do they see you, right? This is awareness as far as business function. This is not conversion. This is not commitment. This is awareness. As an example, for this is like organic traffic, right? Content that you create, outreach content, opportunity content where you actually go out and JV with people, outbound content where you actually pay for ads, owned content where you actually build a list and nurture your list, and optimize content. All of those become traffic sources, right? They actually become traffic sources. Story to support, basically, this is my journey again with my now wife, with Phyllis, right? I had to get in proximity with her, right? I had to go out and we had to get seen by each other. We had to be around each other in order for us to even consider getting to know each other, right? Same kind of concept here for your business. Your business needs to get seen. You have to create content, whether it's organic content or you're JVing or being paid ads or YouTube or live streams like this. You have to get seen so that people actually know that you exist. So that is actually the very first stage. The second is know you stage. Know you stage is where that's the relationship journey. The funnel stage of that is the interest. This is after awareness. Now they know that you exist. There's interest, right? And as far as a business function, that this is lead generation. And then this is where the identity shift goes from people to prospect. This stage is the first, I call this the first date stage. The hello stage is already there, right? Hello. And now it's like, hey, I have some interest with you. There's a connection here already. There, it feels good. I want to ask you on an actual first date, right? They move from just seeing you to knowing a little, wanting to know a little bit more about you. Now they are no longer just people, they are prospects. Why? Because interest has been created. This is where lead generation happens. This is where they raise their hand, they opt in, right? In the business function, they download something, they register, they join. This is where curiosity becomes contact. This is what I call crossing the first threshold. They move from casual observer to active prospect, right? Visibility gets you seen, interest gets you permission. As an example for this, um, in terms of business, this is where you have opt-ins, where people can opt in to get something from your lead generation, right? One of your lead generation funnels. In relationship, this is where after I saw Phyllis, there was energy, there was connection there, right? So asking her on the first date, right? Going on the first date with her. Does that make sense? So that's the second stage. And then the third stage of the relationship journey is the like you stage. That's a relationship journey. And in terms of the funnel steps, this is now going from interest to decision. This is business activity, is not lead generation anymore. This is lead nurturing. This is where the identity shift goes from prospect to potential. This stage is the second date stage, I call it, right? Um, they are still not buying yet at this stage. They're not buyers yet. That's not the goal. They're not looking to buy yet. They went on the first date. They're not looking to take make any decisions. They're looking to see if they want to take that next step, that next action, which is actual the second date, right? But they are deciding though at this point what they think about you. That's what this stage is all about, right? They do like your message. They do like your value. They do like your voice. They do like the way that you think. This is where lead nurturing matters. Lead generation is one thing, but lead nurturing is another. That's why it's called the second date. First date is lead generation. Second date is your lead nurturing, right? That matters. And now their identity shift goes from prospect to potential. They are potential because something is building. Something is building inside. Otherwise, they wouldn't be going out on the second date. If the first date was not amazing, they're not going to go out on the second date. So something's building, right? As an example for this would be, this is something that you can have like a registration to an automated webinar, or something pre-recorded masterclass, or a live masterclass, or live webinar, something where you can actually deepen the connection and deepen the relationship, right? So my journey with my wife was on the second date, right? Asking after we had an amazing first date. Again, I asked her on a second date, right? So that's what this stage is. The fourth stage of the relationship journey is the want you stage. In terms of your funnel, this is where then action happens, right? They're pondering decision. Second date was amazing, and they're ready to take action, right? In the business activity, this is where you it's not lead nurturing anymore. It's lead conversion. In terms of identity shift, they go from potential to now participant, right? They're a willing participant. Okay, this stage is the kiss me stage. Now there's desire, now there's action, now they move, right? This is where lead conversion actually happens. They join the challenge, they book the call, they apply, they purchase the first experience, they become a participant, right? Now let's talk about what your tests are, your allies, your enemies. The test for you is going to be, can you keep showing up consistently? Can you create enough value to build trust? Can you stay patient through the sequence? Your allies are going to be clarity, consistency, storytelling, proof, nurturing, relevant offers, patient sequence, right? That's what your allies are. Your enemies are going to be selling too soon, weak messaging, random content, inconsistency, trying to force trust, treating leads like transactions instead of people. People do not buy when you are ready to sell. They buy when they are ready to believe. As an example for us, in our business, we actually, at this stage, after they've gone through the second date with us, gone through a webinar, gone through our masterclass, came, got our lead generation, lead nurturing is our happening. Lead conversion for us is where we actually make an offer for one of our low ticket offers, like a ticket to our 5-day challenge, for example, right? To our Dream Life, Dream Business Challenge. That is where we then convert the lead, right? In the relationship world, for Phyllis, we had such an amazing first date, second date, energy was there, and guess what? I made the move, right? I leaned in and gave her a kiss. Thank God she kissed me back. She didn't slap my face or anything like that, right? So that's what the fourth stage actually is. So, and then the fifth stage of the relationship journey is the trust you stage. The trust you stage is relationship. The funnel stage is where you're now, they've actually taken action and they're looking for results, right? They're getting, your job is to help them, your clients get results. Now they are already a participant. Now you're going to move them towards becoming a purchaser. That's the identity shift. And then in terms of your business activity, this is client acquisition. This is where you actually make the offer, right? This stage is the what I call the be mine stage, right? The first date's amazing, second date's amazing. You made the move, gave her a kiss. Now you ask her, just like my wife, I asked her to actually be my girlfriend, right? This is why I call it the be mine stage. At this stage, they trust you enough to buy. Why? Because they believe the relationship is safe. They believe the result is possible. They believe you can actually help them. And now they become a purchaser. They're not just a participant anymore. They are a purchaser in business. But the journey does not stop at the sale, because the sale is not the finish line. The sale is the beginning of a deeper relationship. The be mine stage, asking my wife to be my girlfriend, that is just the beginning of a deeper relationship. As an example for this is just like purchasing our high ticket or high value offer, right? Our 50K offer called the Wealth and Freedom Accelerator Coaching and Mastermind offer. That's our deeper relationship connection, right? So after people attend our 5-day challenge, then after spending 5 full days with us, then the next ascension of our value ladder is to build a 7-figure business and be part of our Wealth and Freedom Accelerator, right? So that's an example. So my example of Phyllis as a relationship is where I actually asked her to be my girlfriend, right? She said yes, thank God, right? And then let's move on to the sixth stage of the relationship journey, which is the believe you stage. The believe you stage is where, in terms of the funnel stage, this is expansion, right? This is not just results anymore, but expanding, right? Beyond that result. In the business function, this is your client ascension. They're not there. This is not client acquisition anymore. Now this is ascension. They're moving up your value ladder. This is where they go from just a purchaser to an actual partner, right? This stage is what I call the marry me stage, right? Marry me stage. They do not just trust you, they believe you. They believe in the process, they believe in the results, they believe in the mission, they believe enough to go deeper. This is expansion. This is ascension. This is where a purchaser becomes a partner. As an example for this is where after somebody purchases our high value offer and they grow to a 7-figure business, 100K months, then the next ascension with us is, hey, be a partner, right? And then our next step with us would be our premium value offer, which is our $250,000 offer, where we help them scale from 7 to 8 figures, right? To go from 100K months to $1 million months, right? So now they're an actual partner, right? The story to support this, as an example, is when I asked Phyllis to marry me. After being with each other for 3 years, the timing was right, and I believe she was the one. So I asked her to marry me, right? Now let's move on to the last stage of the relationship journey, the 7th stage, which is the stay with you stage. In terms of the funnel stage, this is transformation. In terms of business activity, this is your client retention. This is where you retain your clients, raving fan clients, get them to stay. This is where they move from partner as an identity shift to a promoter. This stage is what I call the lovers for life stage. This is where true business compounding happens, because now they do not just buy once, they stay. They do not consume, they transform. And because they transform, they promote. They promote, right? Because they transform, they promote. This is where retention turns into advocacy. This is where the ordeal um, gets exposed, because the ordeal is this, right? Most businesses are obsessed with acquisition, but the real goal is retention, ascension, and promotion, right? Again, retention, getting them to stay, ascension, and then ultimately promotion, where they are actually raving fan clients that are telling other people about you. The ordeal is realizing that if you are always chasing the next buyer, you may be neglecting the clients who could become your loudest proof, right? Those are your raving fan clients. The best marketing is not what you say, it is who your clients actually become, right? So as an example for us, our 50K and our 250K offer, when they go to 100K months and they go up to $1 million months, both of those offers are retention offers. They actually renew every 12 months. And the goal of that is to get them the result and transformation that they desire, deserve, that they want, and then they stay, right? They stay, they renew, and we're going to become even more successful, right? So that's as an example. So my example to my wife Phyllis, again, we've been together for 20 years now, in love for 20 years. This past December, this is where, after marrying and after being with each other for almost 10 years, I knew that, I wanted to stay with her. I knew she wanted to stay with me for life. We wanted to be lovers for life. So this is where we started talking about children, and a life together, and buying houses, and start building a family. And that's where we started, our first son, Alexander, was actually born, right? So that is the relationship journey that you just witnessed here. So let me ask you this. Which stage do you think you're actually stuck in? The see you stage, the know you stage, the like you stage, the want you stage, the trust you stage, the believe you stage, the stay with you stage? Drop in the comment section. Let us know, right? Let us know in the comments which stage are you actually stuck at, right? Because here's the thing, your business is not just a funnel, it is a relationship journey. Again, your business is not just a funnel, it's a relationship journey. And if you identify and realize this and really lean into this relationship journey, everything changes for you. Because when you think funnel, you think, how do I get the click? How do I get the lead? How do I get the sale? But when you think relationship, you ask better questions. How do I earn trust? How do I deepen belief? How do I create transformation? How do I retain the right people? How do I turn clients into promoters? You go back into your business and you stop seeing people as numbers. You start seeing them as humans moving through a sequence of connection, commitment, and then ultimately conversion. And once you see that, your content changes, your lead gen changes, your nurture changes, your offer changes, your retention changes. Everything gets better when relationship becomes the strategy. All right, let's get practical with this. After this live, your assignment is very, very simple. Write down the 7 stages of the purpose to profit framework. See you, first stage, know you. Second, like you. Third, fourth, want you. Trust you is 5. Believe you is 6. Stay with you is 7. Then ask yourself 3 questions. The very first question is, where are most people entering my world? Are they seeing me but not opting in? Are they opting in but not converting? Are they buying but not staying? Right? So that's the first question. Second is, where is my real bottleneck? What stage is weak in my business right now? Third question is, what must I strengthen next? Do I need better awareness, better lead generation, better nurturing, better conversion, better results, better ascension, better retention? With these 3 questions, you stop guessing and you start diagnosing the relationship journey with clarity. So my message today is very simple, my friends. Purpose becomes profit when relationship is built with intention. You do not need to force strangers to buy. You need to guide them through your journey, from people to prospect to potential to participant, to purchaser, to promoter, then ultimately to partner, and then ultimately to promoter. That is the path. Awareness, interest, decision, action, results, expansion, transformation. When you understand this sequence, you stop rushing the sale. You start building trust. You start creating better clients. You start building a business that does not just acquire people, it keeps them, it grows them, and it turns them into proof. This is how purpose becomes profit, right? So let me know, my friends, what was your biggest takeaway from today? Was that the relationship journey, the funnel stages, the business functions, or the identity shifts? Drop it in the comment section. If you're live, do that. If you're watching this in the future, still drop it in. We want to know what's your biggest takeaway. And my friends, if this message spoke to you today, I want you to drop journey as well in the comments. And if you know you need to stop rushing the sale and start building the relationship, drop relationship in the comment section. So let's transition to the next slide, which is this coming Wednesday. And I'm actually going to be in Singapore doing that. So on my way transiting to Japan. So next slide is a special one because we are now going to go live as well as on Wednesdays as well. So we've been going live on Saturdays, but now we decided we're going to be doing that also on Wednesdays. So next Wednesday will be May 6th, 9 a.m. Central. We're going to build on this because once you understand the relationship journey, the next question becomes, what does your business actually need most right now? Does it need more awareness? Does it need more leads or more sales? Because not every business has the same bottleneck. Some people need more visibility. Some need better lead generation. Some need better conversions. Next week's title is the difference between staying broke and building riches in business. Because the truth is, some entrepreneurs stay stuck, not because they are not working hard, but because they are optimizing the wrong thing. So if today was about understanding the journey, next week is about identifying where your business is getting stuck and what to optimize next. You do not want to miss that, my friends. And we will talk to you next week. Have an amazing rest of the day. Stay blessed.